Hello and welcome back to another episode of the OS Academy. My name is Ztron, and today we're going to be going over the final difficulty of Sound of My Dreams. This is going to be the easy difficulty, so when setting out your bass, remember to only follow the main beat as much as possible. You want to have as little as circles as you can, while yet still holding some kind of melodic rhythm and being fun for everyone to play. Easies aren't really my best difficulty when creating, so bear with me if it looks a little bit cheesy or janky in some parts. But let's continue. So now that we've gotten our bass set up for the most part, we'll be tightening that up with this last spinner just about now. There we go. We can actually go back and set our combos. And unlike before when we were setting the combos to the second major white stanza, every other one of those, we're going to actually focus on making the combos fit a little bit more to the lyrics so much. And with it being an easy, the combo length should definitely try not to go any further than 7 or 8. While it can get higher, I would say that that's probably the best way to keep it. Keep the combos low so the new players can understand what a new combo is and that the cursor markers do not follow when creating a new combo and other little stuff like that. So now that we're winding through here and we've set up most of our new combos, you'll notice later on in the time lapse as I'm going through, I will change some of these combos because we do make mistakes. Everybody does. And being able to go back over that and check those mistakes is the best way to make sure that your map's going to be as good as it possibly can be. As you'll notice, just like with the other difficulties, the note density does get a little bit heavier towards the end, but that's with the idea that the map should progressively get a little bit harder as time goes on. And now you're going to also notice that the slider velocity, circle size, everything has been adjusted that way to better suit a difficulty of easy. I think most of them, if the circle size is at 3, HP drain is at 2.5. If I'm not mistaken, slider velocity is 1.2, and all of these things. And these are all kinds of things that don't really affect the overall playability of the map when it comes into terms of what is easy, because you can use all these settings, all these easy settings, and make something that's really hard. Beat placement and note density is definitely going to play a factor in whether or not people actually consider it an easy or just an oversized normal or anything like that. But the difficulty settings are important. You should never forget them, and don't just let them sit to a stagnant number. Like, don't say all your normals must be 3, all your normals must be approach rate 5, anything like that. Don't do that. You should always play with the settings and play with them till you feel that fits the best with your map and it fits in correlation to the advancement of the other difficulties. If you have a difficulty that's, say for example, approach rate 3 for the easy, well then 4 or 4.5 would be kind of acceptable for the normal. 5, 5.6, maybe even 6 for the hard, 7 to 8 for the insane. And if you have a faster map and you start your easy off with an approach rate of 4, normal could be 5 or 6, hard can be 7 or 8, and then insane can be either 9, or for those super extremists, they're 10. So just as long as you remember that you have to continuously make sure that the difficulty spread is excelling at a decent rate, not leaving gaps, because you don't want your easy to have an approach rate of 3 and your normal to have an approach rate of 6. That's too far of a jump. The player that just got done playing the easy is going to be like, well, what on earth do I do? You know? And that's not something you want to have happen. And I know I've been rambling a lot about difficulty settings and easy and stuff like that, but I really feel that's important, because at the end of the day, just no matter what your map's created, like if it doesn't have proper difficulty settings, it'll be noticeable. So let's go ahead and see here. I'm at the about halfway mark of actually setting up patterns here. Most of the patterns here are pretty simplistic because I don't have many circles to work with. Lots of sliders are used. repeating sliders here. As you're going to notice, I actually set a half beat there. I end up taking that out later on. I'm not sure if I take it out during the time lapse, but I felt that it was okay at first, but then with the overall gameplay of the map and the fact that that was the first half beat introduced, I felt that it was probably better to remove it. But I've had a lot of fun with this series, and I noticed a lot of people have really liked it as well. Some people talked about the song choice, and I understand that, you know, that's definitely something that can be worked in with. But my idea and goal for these is hopefully to have other people come on and show their mapping skills and show how fast they can do stuff. And speed isn't exactly necessary to take part and help with these time-lapse episodes. They're, as we could speed up the footage. But I have kind of voiced it out in mod help and a few of the other mapping community areas. If you'd like to take part in these, to definitely let me know, because I want to see how other people map, not just myself. It's really cool because a lot of people, while watching this, have said, well, you've done some stuff I've never thought of doing before, and that's good. That's something we want to hear, because if more people have other good things to bring to the table, like the ability in the way mapping can change from this and how new people can learn is limitless. Oh, before I forget, as we're getting closer and closer to actually seeing the final product of the Easy and this closing up and being the final product of the map, I will probably see if I can't get this modded. That would be kind of cool. But also, on top of all that, if anyone has suggestions for songs for other types of time-lapse mapping, feel free to let me know. Of course, I do ask that they are Creative Commons, and if you don't know what Creative Commons is, you should definitely just give that a little Google and check that out, as it's a really cool way to hear a lot of really great music and help a lot of artists get known while still being able to promote stuff yourself. So I would definitely check it out. And as we get close here to the end, you can see I'm setting up a few more of the combos. Distance snap almost breaks never when making an easy. The only time it is acceptable is when it's a new combo or breaking distance snap because there's a gap in the notes. Like, say for example, the sliders I just made previously. Now say if they were a whole 3 or 4 white tick stanzas away, there'd be no place on the map where that note can actually distance snap to. Then it becomes to you as a player to decide where that should go and where that feels and fits best. When you run into a distance snap issue like that, the distance snap should be red. You'll also get the ability to break distance snap no matter what when you're using stuff like spinners and other things like that. I have definitely rambled a lot during this episode, so I do apologize for it, but as we're running closer here to the end, I'm just going to be adding up the final touches, and just like the previous difficulties, I feel that the last part of this section can be easily copy-pasted and flipped over to make it not only easier for new players, but it creates a type of muscle memory almost. Seeing as the song sounds almost the same, that part can fit well. Of course, I still had previous template notes set up, so I do have to go through and delete all those and make sure that's not bad, and then add that little bit left of a template that was there. So we'll just add a little slider here, make that repeat a couple times, get it out of the way to where it's not touching anything else, and then just make that a nice long slider there, and bring that down over, and there we go. All right, so let's hear the full product now. Anyways, that is all she wrote for The Sound of My Dreams. Be sure to check out the map below, everybody, and I hope you enjoyed this time-lapse episode and this series. If you'd like to see more maps time-lapsed, feel free to let us know. And remember, rhythm's only a click away.